Welcome everyone to our daily Forex market analysis call, and this is in preparation for trading on August 17th, 2017. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. So as usual, we will start off with our Forex factory here. So the biggest thing today was FOMC. So FOMC kind of came out as negative. FOMC came out as our market took it as a negative because there are a couple of main things that came out of the FOMC policy meeting minutes. So first one was the inflation. Some of the Fed officials were concerned about the inflation not reaching the targets, because right now the inflation is low, and that is a concern. Another one was about the timing of when they're going to reduce their balance sheet. So all these the whole asset purchase program that they go through, when they're going to start winding down, just like ECB. Fed does a lot of purchasing of the assets, so they need to start kind of reducing the balance sheet and stuff. So that's what those were the two main things that were of concern, and some of the data hadn't come out as positive as was expected. So what the market is concerned about now is the timing of their third interest rate hike for this year. So some people in the market, based on the FOMC meeting minutes, would think that they're not likely to raise rates in September, and also not likely to start cutting back on purchasing of assets. So that's where we stand right now. Coming up, we have for today, we have Aussie employment numbers. New Zealand data came out just now in the Asian session here, excuse me, came in as positive, and now we just have Aussie numbers coming out. And tomorrow we have retail sales for British pound, and we have Euro CPI numbers. So inflation numbers are very important. We do have ECB as well, anytime central banks are concerned. So that would be very important for that currency. So ECB, just like FOMC, ECB monetary policy meeting accounts will be important for the euro. And then in the New York session, we have employment data, capacity utilization rate. So these numbers are important here as well. Most of the data is pretty much in the morning, and then things kind of die down here. So that's for the data. Now let's move on to the charts here, see what's going on. All right, so as a result of FOMC, we did see prices, or the negative slant on the FOMC. We saw prices moved back up, and as a result of that, we have seen prices close bullishly here. So this one here looks quite bullish. This is the bullish pin bar. As a result of that, we're looking for prices to move up higher. So we are bullish on Euro US dollar based on the daily close here. The key thing here was that price could not close below this 80 level. It pushed back up, and now we are back to these previous levels. So in this case, this 1720 played an important role on the way down. So this is likely to play an important role on the way up. So one of the things we could expect is move back down in this level, but I'm not sure if it will drop that much and then go back up towards the top of the range here. Prices kind of ranged in this area. If you take a look between 1680 to 1.1850 level here. So now we're looking for price to go back up again. Looking at a shorter time frame here, so this is where we are expecting the pullback to come to 1720 level. But if the price does not, so there seems to be a lot of bullishness. So one thing we need to remember is, so far we had the New York session in North America, we were able to, or North American markets were able to react to the FOMC meeting minutes, but we haven't seen the London market react to that yet. So as a result, we may see some follow through to the upside as a result of that. So the pullback may not be as much as this. It may not reach there. So what's our next or a shallower pullback? Shallower pullback could be into this level right about here, which is about 1750. And our pivot point is right there as well into 1740 level. So this will be the second level I would be watching for a pullback. So what we may get is just price comes down into that level and bounces off of the pivot point and then goes back up again. So that's the type of move we may see as well. So those are the two pullback levels, 1750 and 1720. But overall, the bias is bullish based on this bullish pin bar close for euro dollar. Pound dollar here. Pound is so pound did go up as well. We have a bullish close here, but it still has bearishness into it. So this is the support resistance level that we are at right now. So if the price is able to close above 2,900, so I'm considering this as neutral. So it's more of a pullback than a really solid close to the upside. So because of Brexit concerns, even though we saw positive data come out for British pound and FOMC meeting minutes did not come out as positive, even then we did not see British pound move up that much. This is a pretty small move for the British pound considering everything. So it's only 60 pips move, which is not big. So now, because we have one negative, one positive data, all in the favor of British pound, and if it still doesn't go up that much, that means it still maintains its bearishness. So we need to see if the prices will close above 2,900. If they do, then we are likely to see price go into this 2,950 level. Or we may just see the price go into the 1.2900 or even into this 20-ish level, 1.2930 level, and then it may come down. So those are the two levels I'm watching. If prices do go higher, then they are likely to go. So if they surpass this 2,900 mark, they could go higher all the way into 2,950. So I'd be watching the 2,950 level as well as the 129.30 level for a potential opportunity to sell. But overall, this one is weak. So this is where we are currently. And here's where we are. So we could see price go all the way into the top here where it dropped from, or we may see price go into this, which is also lines up with our R2 level. So 129.30-ish level lines up with that. So it may see price sort of push back higher. So it may break up through there and then push there and then drop. So we could see that. So that's what we need to keep in mind. We do have news coming out for British pound as well tomorrow morning. So that will have an impact on it as well. But overall, from daily close perspective, that is neutral. Aussie dollar here. Aussie dollar looks bullish. We had a huge move for the day, and prices just sort of went up. One of the reasons we had such a strong close here is because of the commodities. So commodities were strong today, especially copper. So this is copper. So that's a huge move on a daily time frame here. As we can see, these are the moves for the last few days. So the average range for copper is not that much, but today it just took off. And as a result, we saw Aussie take off as well. So that's the problem. And hence, we saw all the commodities. So as a result of the commodities going up, we saw, or copper going up, we saw Aussie dollar go up as well. All the commodity currencies did fairly well today. So what does that mean for our trading? So that means that Aussie is still bullish as long as copper stays bullish, and also gold was quite bullish as well. And as a result of those two, Aussie has gone up as a result. And as long as those stay bullish, we are likely to see further move up. So this is our gold. If you take a look here, that's a very, very solid engulfing candle close. And now we're looking for a further move to the upside into 1291.50. So that's what gold looks like. So both gold and copper are bullish, and as a result, Aussie's bullish as well, because those are the main exports for Australia. So Aussie, we're looking for a further move to the upside. We are into resistance here, but if copper and gold continue, this is likely to continue higher as well. So we do have news coming up for this shortly, and I'm looking for a bit of a pullback here. Not sure if we will get it, because this looks quite bullish still. So this is where we are at the moment. The target on this let me take a look here. Target to the upside will be sort of into this range here, 79.95, so about 80, 0.80 level. So looking at the 4-hour, this is where we are expecting it to go to, or even higher into these highs. But that's the first level. But if there is so much movement in copper, then we're likely to see this go up as well. So the target 80, and then potentially all the way to 80, 50 level right up here. Looking at the 1-hour, this is where we are. Price is struggling with this level. But if it closes on the other side, then we are certainly looking for the price to go to the other side. So right now I'm just looking for a pullback, and just waiting to see if that will happen prior to the news. But if it doesn't, that trade is no more. So we're just going to close that out prior to the news here. So right now it looks bullish and looks like it may continue higher. So here's our New Zealand. New Zealand had positive data come out, but it looks like it's trying to move lower, pulling back here. So New Zealand has been relatively weaker than Australian dollar. So this is where we are. We have a nice bullish engulfing candle. Our next target here would be 73.68 level, this one right here. That looks like a good level to target. Prior to that, though, we may get, in all of these, we may get pullbacks. We always want to look for pullbacks. So 72.96, that's too shallow. 72.80-ish level, it looks like a good pullback level. So we may see price come down into this and then go up higher. Right now, though, the daily close is very, very bullish. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. This is where we are. We are into resistance, so looking for a pullback lower into, looks like the pivot point here. Yeah, so right into the pivot point, which is also our 80 level. So looking for price to pull back here and then move up higher. So if there's no pullback, then they are very, very bullish. So this one looks like it is pulling back, so it will come. It could come into this one. But generally, when something is bullish, if we draw our fib, so this was our price move today. So generally, when something is bullish, we are looking for 23% or 38% pullback. So if it's 23% pullback, then we're basically just going into 72.95, and then the price may take off from there. Or if it's a regular pullback, then it may still go into pivot point, which is our 38% pullback level, and then go higher. So both of those levels, 23% or 38%, they're both bullish pullback levels. If it comes all the way down to 50%, then that kind of waters it down. And then we start getting into deeper pullbacks. So anytime something is bullish, when something is strongly bullish, then it tends to stay above this 23% pullback level. And when it's normally bullish, it will come into pivot point, which is our 38% retracement level, and then go up higher. So when something is quite bullish, it may not pull back as much, but a lot of times things will pull back into the 23% pullback unless it goes crazy, and then of course it may just continue up higher. So here's our Aussie. Aussie's not pulling back very much because we do have data coming out. So right now it's just kind of sitting up high. And a lot of times when things hold the highs, see how it's holding the high here? That is not a good sign, because when things hold above previous highs, generally they tend to break up higher. So right now we have Aussie pushing up and New Zealand pushing down. So Aussie New Zealand pair would be pushing up. So not the best chart here, but you get the idea. So when one is pushing one way, one is pushing up, other one's pushing down, whichever one is going up. So Aussie New Zealand, Aussie is pushing up, so that will go up. As a result, Aussie New Zealand is going up for now. But overall, New Zealand dollar is also bullish close for the day. So we're looking for a further move to the upside. 73.68 is the target. Dollar CAD here, again, all the commodity currencies, huge move for the day. And this is a large move. So we should see price pull back a bit in terms of a pullback. 126.60-ish level looks like a good pullback level, or even into the 50 level would be a decent pullback level. So we are bearish on this one and looking for, so this is the pullback level. And if we go into our 1 hour, so this is where we could look for the price to pull back. If it goes into pivot point, that is a better support and resistance area, 126.65. So price could go all the way up here and then come back down. Bias is to the downside here. The target would be 125.30 area, the support and resistance area to the downside. Euro Swiss, we had a drop. We had a bearish pin bar here, rejection, drop, and now we're looking for further drop in this one here. The two targets will be, first one will be over here, 1.1300. Below that, we are looking at 1.1265. So looking for price to move back lower as a result here. Pound Swiss franc, again, nice move to the downside, looking for further bearishness. Next target will be 1.2340 level, right into there, this pin bar. So that's our target. Price has reacted before here as well. So we're looking for price to come back lower. And this one closed very, very low. So looks quite bearish. Dollar Swiss franc, again, bearish close on the day. We were into this resistance that we had talked about. See how we had this pin yesterday? Price did go and test high, and then now we are back down. So we may see this pull back into 96.74, and then come down. The target here is 96.20 level, but we could likely go lower into this level here, 95.94. So about 9600 is the target here to the downside. Pound yen, tweezer tops here. That's a bearish pattern, and we are expecting price to move lower here. 141.20 will be the target to the downside. So this is bearish. Euro yen here. Euro yen unfortunately hasn't moved as much as I would have liked to see it move. I do have a trade running on this one. I am going to keep an eye on it, but the daily close here is quite nice. So let me get rid of some of these lines so we can see clearly. So that's what we have. We had a nice pin bar close here on Euro Yen, and that's why I'm still in the trade. So with this one, just the one thing that did concern me about this one was, if we take a look here, see how price didn't move as much as Euro Yen. Yeah, so price kind of stayed here. And if you take a look at here, so this is what happened. Price went up, came down, and then it just stayed around here. So that was concerning, that the price dropped for everything else. So if you take a look at pound here, price just tanked. And if you take a look at dollar yen, price tanked. Whereas, see how the big drop here? So dollar yen is understandable because US dollar dropped against everything. However, this hadn't dropped. So I was a little bit concerned about this one. But we do see a nice pin bar. So euro has been very strong lately and hasn't really dropped as much. So pound yen and dollar yen were better performance here, better performers, but this is a nice pin bar at a good level. So I am looking for price to come down lower here into 12900 area. So that's the target to the downside here. So looking for price to drop. Dollar yen was quite weak. We had a nice drop here, and now this looks bearish, but we are running into support right about here, which is a 109.80 level. So we're almost at that level. So that will be first target, and the second target to the downside is into the top of this pin here, 109.40 level. So overall, I am bearish on dollar yen. Euro pound looks bullish. We are finally on the other side of that level that we've been kind of keeping track of for the last few days. And now we are into this big pin. So let's see where we can find the next. Oh, we have to go way out. Yeah, so excuse me. So that's the next level here, 72.80 level. And we have to go all the way to the monthly chart to find it. So euro is looking very strong against the pound here. So going back to our daily, this is where we are. As long as price stays on the other side there, we are likely to see euro pound go up, and that's our next level. 92.80 level is the target level to the upside. It may not get there in a day, but that is the next target level to the upside. Euro Aussie here, a very nice close on the day, very, very bearish. Here we were talking about how price hasn't broken this level here, and now we saw price go and test the same level, drop. Here I'm looking for a follow through in this one. We are into support though, and so we have to watch this one. We are into support, but both euro as well as Aussie has been very strong today, so we could see this come down further. So 147.50 is the first target, but price may push back into this. We may see price push into this level over here, back of the trend line, and then drop further. So 147.50 will be the target to the downside. And then CAD yen is into important resistance here. So overall, it is bullish. It has been bullish for the last few days, but we are into resistance. So what does that mean? We could see price come back down and then push back up. So here price could come all the way to 86.80, which is not that far from where it is. It's at 87.09. It could come into that level, or it could come into this one here, which is 86.93. So let's put it at 86.85-ish level here, because that looks like a good level. So that's a strong support and resistance. As we can see, prices reacted along this line multiple times. So that's so we may see move to the downside, pull back, and then price may go back up again. And in terms of our target, this level looks good. So that level is, so that's the level, 87.75. So that will be our target level to the upside for CAD yen. It does look bullish right now though. So that's all I have. Any questions? Aussie Swiss franc. Let me see if I have the chart. Okay, let me open a new chart. Looks bullish. See how we stayed above the pivot point here, and looks like it wants to go higher. That's a 1 hour chart. But from the daily chart, oh, we are into resistance. So it is a bullish close for the day. The pin bar completely failed. Daily pin bar, that was a nice test up. But see how that was a nice test up, nice close, rejection, but looks like that failed. So there are two different things that could happen. One is that price pushes into that level and then drops. So that's one scenario. And that could happen if Aussie news comes out negative. Or second thing is that it will go and test this level again, 76.90 level, and then come into resistance there. So right now it looks like it wants to move up higher. So that will be the target to the upside. So I would watch 3 different levels. So that one. That will be the first resistance level, and especially keeping an eye on what other Swiss franc crosses are doing. And the second one will be 76.90. So those will be the 76.90 will be my target to the upside, but the first criteria would be that it's able to get above this pin and stay above this pin. So after 76.90, then we are into 77.30. So it will continue, it's likely to continue if it does get up that far. But for now, in the short term, though, that looks bullish. Looks like it wants to move up higher, but that is an important resistance. So we could run into trouble there, especially with the news. We could get one of these moves as well, in which case it's a head and shoulders kind of pattern, because this is a strong level. However, it has broken through that. So it went through that. So this level could just get bypassed, and we could go right into this R1 level, which is also our previous day's resistance level. The bias looks to the upside, though. All right, any other questions? I will take that as a no. Okay, so we will call it a wrap, and I will see you all tomorrow.